Michael, who were you in high school? Who were you? 14, 15 years old. I'm a classmate of yours. If we interviewed 5-year classmate that spent the most time with you, who was Michael Rapaport?
That's a very good question. I was shit talking.
No.
Basketball, hoop dream, having, hip hop, loving, very gregarious kid who was exploring, all of New York, but my focus was basketball and hip hop and just I was just out and about, man. That's a good question. But that's who I was. I was very, very disruptive. I got kicked out of school from the 3rd grade to the 12th grade. I went from a different school literally from the 3rd grade to the 12th grade, and I went to public school in New York City. I went to Erasmus Hall High School, which is in Brooklyn, New York, and got kicked out of there. And there were violent criminals in there. And they asked me to leave after my 11th grade year just because they said, told my father, you're just such a pain in the ass. There was no incident. There was no fires being set.
Which one is you? Who's that picture?
He's the black guy.
Yeah.
That's Magic.
Johnson.
That's Magic Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. So that was about 13 years old. But I mean, I wanted to be a basketball player, and I just was a big, disruptive personality, and had a unique sort of period of time between when I was 12 and 19, because I was everywhere except for home.
Michael, when did you realize you could monetize and capitalize on being this gregarious,
I still
larger than life?
To be honest with you,
figure out the money.
You said the word troll, and I don't particularly like that term, and I certainly don't consider myself that, because my social media presence and the things that sort of ruffle feathers, people excite, people love, people don't love on social media are never premeditated, ever. So when, I feel like that term troll is the way you were using it, I don't think it was disrespectful. I think it's like you're sort of doing a concerted effort to excite and
entice and excite.
And I think if I did do that, I wouldn't be as good at it. And if I did do that, I probably could monetize from it. But like my social media stuff that has went viral, that people talk about, good, bad, or indifferent, whether it's sports, whether it's hip hop, whether it's political, it's always off the cuff. It's never pre-planned and premeditated. Like it's literally, I just go.
Which one got you in the most trouble? What did you say that got the most eyeballs and reaction? Was it politics, sports, or hip hop?
Man, there's probably one of each. Man, if I went through one of each, I could tell you that there's been a lot of sports over the years. It's been a lot of hip hop over the years, and it's been a lot of politics over the years. Honestly, if I went over each one, it's across the board. But the introduction to my, I could say shit talking, because I don't want to.
Yeah, you're fine.
My introduction to shit talking outside of sports and music was after Charlottesville. It was a Saturday morning after the "You Will Not Replace Us, Jews Will Not Replace Us." And when I was living in Los Angeles, I would take that video. I would take my dog out for walks, and I was so taken aback that people, whatever year that was,
2017,
I think it was 16. Was that the year Trump was started in 16?
Yeah, but the election was in November 16, but he was sworn in January 20th, 2017. Yeah, Charlottesville.
It was like
2017,
July or June of 17.
Yeah, summer of 2017. You're right.
And I was so offended that people would publicly say Jews will not replace us, as if we gave a fuck about those tiki torch, khaki pants wearing, disenfranchised people, as if the Jewish people are trying to replace you fucking losers. And just to speak that out loud, I was like, and that video went crazy viral. And it was, I think, a minute. And like, my dog is in it and I'm just walking. It's literally 8,
Rob,
9 in the morning.
Play for a second. I want to see which one this is.
Last night in Charlottesville, Virginia, a bunch of white nationalists carrying tiki torches that they got from Home Depot, wearing skinny jeans, drinking coffee, came out for a protest saying, "White lives matter, white lives matter." You know your life ain't shit if you're a college student on a Friday night during the summertime. You ain't getting no ass, and you decide to come out for a protest carrying tiki torches, talking shit. Little coffee cup carrying white nationalists. You ain't shit. If you was really trying to get it popping, you would have taken your little Ed Sheeran protest right over there to Virginia Beach or Newport News, and you would have got your tiki torches stuffed up your ass. Revenge of the nerd protesters. Eat some pizza, take a few bong rips. Don't you got a fucking toga party to go to? It's Friday night. Try to get to second base with a girl, you fucking loser. Talking about white lives matter, white lives matter. Throwing up Nazi salutes. Dorm room dumb fucks.
But I bet you your dog is like, why is Dad tripping the fuck out?
Like, this is a regular
Your dog is
Tuesday.
like, Dad?
That was my dog passed. That was my dog's comfort tone.
Oh, really?
So
you tripping out?
Our walks, like he would be like, "Oh, he's doing a video," but that at that time just went crazy viral. But like I said, I never contrive the stuff. It's just sort of happened.
And Mike, where does that? Because a lot, like my father was like a composer of music. My sister plays classical. I played the trumpet, but I'm also a wise ass funny because my father would make us entertain in front of people. Where'd you get that brash, who gives a shit attitude? Was it family? Was it just from the streets? Where did you pick it up?
That's just how I came out, man.
That's it.
That's just how I came out. I mean, it's just how I came out, and I've always sort of talked a lot of stuff. I've tried not to curse, and I've always, sort of been good with my mouth, and I wasn't as good, shooting the ball as I was with my mouth, as far as talking. It's kind of like a superpower, especially, when you're hanging out in the street, like some people could fight. Some people could play ball. Some people, were like, doing criminal stuff. I was good, like snapping. We call it snapping. Mm-hmm. That was my thing. And that particular thing, that's not me.
Rob, I was about to say.
I was like, who the hell is that guy?
The next one is my high school, Martin Luther King High School. Yeah.
Zoom in.
Yeah, that was my last high school.
That's you on the right? That's hilarious.
That's me there. Yep.
Punch in a little bit, Rob. Let's see our guy.
You're a lefty?
Lefty. And you see, like, everybody's serious, and this is me. That's who you said. Who was I?
That's you.
That's who I was.
There's like one white person in the entire place, and it's you.
That's
Michael, you're what, 53, 52? How old are you?
53.
Yeah, why does this look like it's from 1920s? What's going on? It's all black and white.
Black and white film, high school pictures, man.
This is in the 80s, dog.
1988, man.
Were you any good? Were you a good basketball player?
I was a good player, but I mean, the levels change so quick. When you get to like 14, 15, 16, people are going through puberty. The gap gets quick for young teenage sports. Like you go from at 14, it's a gap like that. And so but I had fun and I learned so much from the camaraderie of playing ball and it wasn't so much the games. It was the going to the games on the trains. It was the coming back from the games. It was the practice, and it was everything in between. And I just loved it. But it kept me in line. And I had a goal, even though I didn't reach that goal. I had a goal. So I got so much from, wanting to be a professional.
Any of these guys make it did anybody make it from your high school to the next level or no?
Not from that high school, but I played with, Kenny Anderson, and
lefty. He's a lefty point guard.
One of the best New York players. And, I would go to basketball camps with Shawn Kemp and Billy Owens and,
Billy Owens, Golden State Warriors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp.
Yeah. So the gap, and that's when I saw that gap. It was very.
Who was the craziest guy you saw in the gym, like in high school level? Was it Kemp? Was it
Shawn Kemp? When I was at the 5-star basketball camp, was Shawn Kemp that you saw with the Seattle Supersonics?
No, at what age?
18.
Jeez.
Yeah,
literally.
It was
amazing.
and Kenny Anderson, we knew. Everybody in New York knew, and I played one-on-one with Kenny, and I was good. At 12, you could be better than people. I was bigger than Kenny. And Kenny Anderson at 11 years old was going to the NBA. everybody in New York knew it.
At 11 years old.
The way he handled the ball, it's like some people are just gifted. You know, other people work at it. Kenny Anderson was just like, a prodigy. He was a basketball prodigy.
11 years
the
old.
way he handled the ball when I first saw him at 11, he already had a reputation at 11. You know, like, and this is when it's earned. There's no social media. So I saw a bunch of guys. You know, I played with a bunch of great players in New York. The late, great Malik Sealy was another one. Chris Mills, you know, I was in the high school with him. The 1 year I went to school at Fairfax. Chris Mills and Shawn Kemp. And, you know, I was around, you know, great players. And at the time you could play with them, but you're not as good as them. But you could play with them. So it was a great time. Didn't
you have a thing with Brian Scalabrine at one point? What was that? What was all that?
All fun. That's my guy.
Okay, that's your guy.
The White Mamba.
With the White Mamba, exactly.
The White Mamba. Come on, the White Mamba.
That's your guy.
It's like the White Mamba and Vinny from Yonkers. Thank you.
I saw someone that people started challenging Scalabrine to one-on-one. Did you see all this?
Scalabrine could beat any one of your listeners one-on-one now, and he'll tell you he probably can't, and he could. The person who's playing in the NBA, who's on the 12th man, could beat every single one of the people watching this show. I mean, it's an NBA. It's
not even close.
It's a professional basketball player. So the level is just, you know.
Who's your favorite guy? Who's your favorite guy in the NBA all time? I know I think you did something with Earl Monroe years back. But who's your favorite all time?
Man, it's hard to pick one. But the person who meant the most to me growing up and like resonated with me as a kid the most is Dr. J. That was my I had such love for him, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. But Doc was like, I wasn't into cartoons. I wasn't into, Marvel. I wasn't into Batman and Robin. I wasn't into Bruce Lee. Like, Dr. J was that to me. And to a lot of people. Like, he was that to me. And, throughout the years, I've gotten to meet him, and I participated with him in the Big Three. And I've been around him so much, my heart still races when I just love him. Love him, and he meant so much to me as a kid. He was a superhero.
What year? When you're saying superhero, what year? Doc resonated with me 79, 80,
early
81.
80s. So listen, you're a Manhattan guy, even though you kind of look a little Larry Bird-esque. I think I've seen you in a Celtics jersey before. Yes. What's up with your Knicks, bro?
We're getting better, man.
You're not giving a shout out to Ewing. You don't got Bernard King on your list.
What's the deal? He said one guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Bernard King.
You're a Manhattan guy.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't want to go too down the rabbit hole of sports because I know the show. I watch the show. I'm going to say right now, based on the trades, I'm going to say this right now, right into my camera. The Knicks just picked up a bunch of guys. Bogdanovich. The New York Knicks. February 8th.
Yes.
February 8th. 2024, I'm on the PBD podcast. Millions of people watch. The New York Knicks are winning the NBA championship.
Get out of here.
Wait, this year?
When?
You're out of control.
This year.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
By the way, what I'm saying, okay, so because of who? Because of
Jalen Brunson,
he's a beast.
The whole team. We have a team. The New York Knicks. Here, I'm not going to say winning. The Knicks are going to the championship. I'm not going to say winning. The Knicks are going to the championship, barring a catastrophe.
Michael Rapaport.
The Knicks are going.
I'm going to ask you the one question I ask Vinny every time he makes an outrageous statement. How much money you want to put on this, Rapaport?
That the Knicks are going to
they're winning a championship.
No, he said they're going to the championship.
He changed it to going. He said
I'll bet you a clean 100.
Let's make it 1,000. Let's be professional.
No.
I think the odds are on your side, though.
Yeah, what are the odds and who do you got?
I think it's a 5 to 1.
You got to give him $100 bucks.
$100 is a fair bet.
Should we shake
I think
on
that's
it?
fair. I think that's fair.
That's the bet. There it is.
Done. The Knicks are
I'm a
going
Heat
to the
guy, bro. I know what it's like to go to championships.
You guys ain't going anywhere.
That's what they said last year. We made it to the championship.
I was at the game last night, and I sat on the wood, and I'm a Heat fan. Heat culture, I respect it. That was last year. It's 2024. The trade deadline just came in before I walked into the studio. The Knicks are going to the championship.
Okay, we have a $100 bet.
That's
Rapaport and I am Rapaport.
Check this out. This is odds right now. 20. It's not like it's
They haven't even caught up with what happened 5 minutes ago.
That's what I'm saying. They hasn't
so
updated.
it could go even.
That's winning. The Knicks are going to the championship. The Knicks are coming out of the East and winning and going to the championship.
By the way, that's a pretty bold statement to make.
Dude, I have a John Starks jersey still chilling in my
So let me ask you, what do you think about the whole conversations about LeBron to Knicks? Is that like a
It's not happening.
fairy tale? It's
He
not going to
ain't
happen.
leaving LA.
He ain't leaving LA. You think the Lakers should trade him?
No, they're not trading him. He ain't going anywhere. He's LeBron James. Do I think the Lakers? No, he's the best player on their team.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere.
He's LeBron. You don't. No.
I've seen you at the Big Three before. You've had some beef before. I've seen you were coaching a team before.
Yes.
Who have you had beef with? I want to say KD and you had some beef.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you didn't want to call yourself a troll. You talk shit, bro.
I talk shit, but
you do.
Talk shit and a troll is two different things.
Okay. So you would label yourself a shit talker, though.
The best in the world.
Okay. We established some guidelines here.
One of the 100%.
Would you call it yapping? Would you call it?
I call it
snapping.
Snapping is the
snapping. Okay.
Shit talking is the general atmosphere.
But what happened with some KD? What happened to some other guys?
All the other stuff you saw in the Big Three, that's just performance art.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Yeah. Okay.
No.
It's all just performance.
But what was
art.
real? What was the real beef?
None of the stuff on the Big Three was real. None.
What was real?
I mean, you got to ask me specific in my life.
With KD.
KD, that was a whole thing that got out of hand. That was a DM thing. I mean, you tell it better than me.
Dude, a lot of this, Michael,
is somebody telling you 20 years?
No, a lot of this was a few years ago. Yes. I remember some shit was trending.
Yes,
so
it was trending.
We're rehatching some stuff.
Yes.
Even when you brought up the Jews will not replace this type of thing. I remember that from 7 years ago. But times. But we got you now, Rapaport. What happened with KD?
The KD thing was what it was. Got into an ugly social media feud.
Yeah.
And you posted...
What does it say?
Train of thoughts.
Train of thought.
Rob, let's read the article.
See what it is.
Trainer.
Oh.
All right.
What was it?
The worst fights are the ones that there was no one to root for. That's what we had yesterday with the nasty Twitter scuffle broke out between Net star Kevin Durant.
Nasty.
No, Net star. Oh, the participants here. Surprising. Durant loves to fight with people on various social media platforms.
Yes.
And Rapaport is often looking for attention. Not you, Mike. With personalities this volatile involved, there was no warning before the fight.
The much regarded and respected trainer report.
With an A at the end.
Yes.
Well, Mike, you posted the conversation in the DMs. What was he saying in the DMs?
You were calling him a snake. I remember that.
He was talking about spitting on me and all this shit. And talking district, he mentioned my wife, and I was like, no, it's not happening.
Got it. So that was what? That was 3 years ago?
I think it was 4.
What was the resolution with that? You guys squash any beef? You see him at all lately?
I haven't seen him.
No. What happens if you saw KD?
By the way, are you
step right to him?
Straight up.
I mean, out of all the basketball players and professional athletes, physically, he's the one that I would probably be least concerned about.
Because you probably weigh more than him.
Probably weigh more than him.
Gotcha.
At a lean, mean 210 pounds.
All right.
Oh, Durant? Yeah, I was
the easy money sniper.
I was at a club. I was at a club, Mike, and I saw this. Like, he's obviously huge, but his ankle, he was wearing.
Yeah,
he has little baby ankles.
But I'm not a tough guy at all. I don't claim to be. I'm 53. I'm gonna be 54 in March.
Yeah.
And
it's not your world.
No. But don't say that, Mike, because the people are going to say, that his bark is louder than his bite.
My bark is louder than my bite.
All right, then.
What the fuck you think this is, man? Shit.
So
I talk shit and I don't.
I'm not a boxer. I'm not a UFC fighter. I'm not Sean Strickland or one of these guys.
All right.
By the way, now that guy, he is not a guy you want to get into a street fight.
He's crazy. He's had a crazy childhood.
Yeah,
and that shit comes out in his fist.
The best thing is when he told his opponent, he says, "Look, you can say whatever you want. If you talk about my dad one more time in Canada,
I'm going to jail.
I will kill you. I will go to jail, and I'll be okay with
it."
Right? Yeah.
Period.
And then the guy's like, you know what? Let's just fight it. Let's just have a peaceful
That's like
fight.
the Key and Peele thing you showed the other day.
Yeah, that's a funny. That's a funny one. Before we get into it, so last time on Tuesday, we announced anybody that buys the Future Looks Bright hats and the gear, and we said we want 1 million people wearing this gear during these strange times. We want people walking around saying, "Hey, I believe future looks bright," and getting the reaction from other people when you wear that shirt. We have some stuff that we haven't given away. We're continuing this. We sold out of a couple of our hats, by the way, on Tuesday. Instantly, 3 hats sold out. But anybody that buys any of these gears, Rob, can we show this on the camera so people can see it? Pick any one of these hats and one of the Future Looks Bright shirts. Okay, go a little lower. You got the purple one. You got the white one. Pick any of these trucker hats for some of you guys that want the Valuetainment logo with U.S. flag next to it. We also got the PBD podcast hat there as well. You pick the black or white Future Looks Bright hat. Choose any of these combination hat and a shirt. You do. Next week, what we're doing is we'll be giving away one of the Ryan Garcia signed gloves, a Trevor Bauer signed ball, and 5 signed Choose Your Enemies Wisely live next Tuesday at the end of the podcast for Home Team.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.